We have spent millennia studying the evolution of protective shells. We thought human flesh was just a thin membrane, easily torn like a sheet of paper. Until the crystal cocoon leaked. The thing that could crush diamond is now entwining itself around the skin of an electrician, like a glittering toy of a small child. The screen displays a 3D diagram of future lab, biological experiment level 9. Neon blue light beams sweep across a glass cage containing a human youth sitting and reading a book. Research log number 402, scientist Zixel reporting. Today, we will observe subject 842, locally known as human. Look at this biological diagram. How pathetic. Their body structure is a mistake of creation. No dragon scales, no hardened chitin shell of the galaxy beetle. Their skin is just layers of soft epithelium, full of water and tiny blood vessels. Just a slight impact with a ceramic shard, they bleed. Just a minor temperature change, they shiver. Based on DNA markers, we classify them into the group, creatures in need of absolute protection. A gentle, harmless herbivore, to the point we don't even need any magnetic locks to keep them contained. The warning lights turn bright red. The siren tears through the quiet space of the lab. At the center of the room, a silver-white, brilliantly glowing mass like crystal begins to crack. But a mistake, a deadly mistake has happened. The containment shell of Crystal Cocoon X-99, considered the most dangerous bioacid in the galaxy, has cracked. This is not a gemstone. It is a form of light-parasite capable of assimilating and crushing the hardest material structures. We have seen it pierce through the hull of a Titan alloy warship in just a few seconds. Pressure in the lab skyrockets. The alien scientists around me start to panic. The defense system is completely paralyzed. Razor-sharp crystal filaments, harder than diamond, begin to crawl out of the experiment pedestal. They extend, making dry cracking sounds, gapping into the metal floor and tearing them like paper. Run. Get out now. Screams echo through the communication system. All high races flee in extreme disgust and fear. We know that if just a small crystal thread touches you, your body will turn into a mass of shattered glass in an instant. Amidst the ruins and chaos, Leo, a human technical staffer, is still sitting there. He is wearing headphones, tapping his foot to a relaxed jazz tune. While the entire future lab system is collapsing under the power of X-99, an absurdly insane sight appears before my eyes through the monitoring screen. Leo, that fragile human, does not run. Even more, he doesn't even realize the disaster is coming. He is leisurely holding a pastry, smiling and mumbling along to the lyrics. The death crystal filaments, which we call the scythe of God, are crawling under his feet. A crystal thread as sharp as a scalpel rises, touching Leo's bare arm. I closed my eyes, not daring to see the sight of his flesh being torn apart. I waited for a scream of pain, waiting for the sight of fresh blood spraying on the floor. But no. Instead of fear, Leo takes off his headphones. He looks down at his arm, where the crystal filaments are trying to pierce through the skin. Instead of a face distorted in horror, his eyes sparkle with the curiosity of a child seeing a new toy. He raises his hand, gently stroking the shimmering material crawling on his body. Oh, what is this? So beautiful, isn't it? He giggles. His voice is so gentle that it overloads my emotional analysis system. His arm begins to glow. The crystal filaments do not cut his skin at all. On the contrary, they seem shy, weaving into that soft epithelium like soft silk ribbons. That fragile human is using his non-venomous hands to play with the galaxy's personification of death. The transformation begins. Leo's skin is not destroyed, it begins to absorb energy from the crystal. The unbelievable has happened. The human DNA structure begins to perform a process that our science has never recorded. Instead of being assimilated by X-99, Leo's body is actively taming it. His skin turns a translucent white blue, more brilliant and magnificent than any gemstone in existence. The previously hard crystal filaments now obediently rearrange their structure to wrap around him like a magnificent suit of armor. We tried using high-intensity lasers to test-cut that crystal skin from afar, but it was completely useless. It is 10,000 times harder than diamond, yet has the wonderful elasticity of human protein. Leo stands up, walking amidst the room filled with jagged crystal spikes. Every step he takes makes the surrounding crystal masses bow their heads, parting to both sides like subjects welcoming a king. He picks up a razor-sharp shard of crystal, tasting it a bit like sugar. This tastes pretty good too, a bit tingly on the tongue. He says with a bone-chilling calmness. I look at the biological indicators on the screen. Leo's heart rate is still stable at 70 beats per minute. Not a single drop of adrenaline from fear. He considers this Class S biological disaster as just a beautiful rain of light. The soft, small hand I once looked down upon is now crushing a concentrated crystal block, something that even a 1,000-ton hydraulic press couldn't scratch. That is not defense. That is the absolute dominance of an entity standing at the peak of the food chain. Zixel trembles while updating the data into the system. I am trembling as I type these lines. The entire logic of Future Lab has collapsed. Humans, they don't need horns or scales, they don't need guns. Because their very fragility is a perfect trap for any entity that wants to invade. I have just updated the global storage file. Subject name, Homo Sapiens. Old classification, harmless creature. New classification, SIEU Apex, forbidden entity of the galaxy. A warning for all races, never judge them by their outer skin. Because inside that gentleness is a power that can swallow even the most brilliant stars.